Welcome to Opinion Havers, a movie podcast for reluctant drag queens. I'm Cody.
And I'm Tyler.
Tyler, what movie did we watch?
Cody, we watched Some Like It Hot. All right. So Some Like It Hot.
Yeah.
That's what.
Oh, yeah. I watched it. You watched it. I watched it a long time ago. I mean, it's been so long. How long ago did you watch this movie, Tyler?
Hours, Cody. Mere hours, you could say. Could you say more? Several hours? Maybe. Could you say many more than that?
Wow.
Probably, but maybe. Maybe not.
Sounds like you're going to be carrying the bulk of the conversation. Do you want to give us a quick summary of the movie, Tyler?
Cody, let me tell you about this. There's these two dudes, and they're like, "Hey, we're broke. All right, we're out here. We're playing instruments, and we're in a band, and we're playing in speakeasies. All right. For those of you who don't know, speakeasies, they're in the alcohol when alcohol was illegal. Cody, I'm gonna cough real quick, so you just sit there and wait for me. All right.
All right.
So these speakeasies, they're out there and they're they're in these speakeasies playing music, and they're like, look, we got it set, we got it made. Let's dogs. We're gonna go bet on dogs. And guess what? Them dogs, it did not go well. Okay, a little spoiler for early in the movie, did not go well. So then they're like, what's the solution? I know, let's dress up as women. That's how we fix it. All right, that's how we fix this situation. And then they go on adventures. And they meet the girlfriend of a former president of the United States. All right. And then, everybody else is saying allegedly, but who's left to sue you? That's the real question, Cody. Not a lot left in that family. OK. She's not there.
There's quite a lot of dead Kennedys.
A lot of dead Kennedys. I wasn't going to say
someone should name a band after that, almost like it's a band name.
Yeah. And hilarity ensues, Cody.
Oh, yeah. Tyler, the great summary. You nailed, just like always, never disappoint. Yeah. Let me give you my hot take on this one. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go first. I'm going to tell you, I liked it. I liked the movie. It wasn't quite a home run for me, but I can see it's a classic. It was great. I'd never seen a Marilyn Monroe picture, and so it was good to see. And there were a few big ol' laughs from me that made the whole thing worth it. So we'll get into that, but I did enjoy it. It's not quite on the level of like What's Up, Doc, or some of the other old comedies I like. How'd it go for you?
It went pretty good. I would not put this in the same category as What's Up, Doc, because they're made in, separate, I don't know.
Decades?
I mean, that like saying me and my dad were born in different decades. All right. Sure. Were those decades? I think
they were made like 13 years apart.
Cody, don't come at me. One is black and white, which means it was made before color was invented. All right. And the other one is not. All right. The other one has Barbara Streisand.
What year was color invented? When did we get color? When was that?
1982. All right. That's when color was invented. Okay. I was there. I remember. Okay. You weren't there. Don't even try to pretend like you were.
Tyler, you were there. Hold on. Did you invent color?
I mean, look. Maybe. I'll never
Tyler,
tell.
Did you travel back in time to give the world the gift of color, except that you only went back in time like 40 years?
Yeah.
If so, look, why didn't you go back further?
I mean,
why didn't you go back just a little further and give more people the color?
I mean, how many years in the past have you gone? That's the question. All right.
Tyler, I can't do it.
Exactly. So why are you're out here like, oh, you got a supercar. Why didn't you buy a hypercar?
My tummy can't handle time travel.
How many supercars you got? I got time travel. You got no time travel. All right. Don't be questioning my 40 years. Okay.
So hold on. You were saying you wouldn't put it in the same bucket quite as What's Up, Doc.
Right.
But what did you think of it? Because
I thought it was good. It was good. It was a goodie.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a classic. I did enjoy it. It's one of the, like I said, I'd never seen a Monroe picture, and I was like, I get it. When someone's such a cultural icon, it was good to be like, oh, yeah, right. I don't know what the modern day equivalent of that would be today. I mean, obviously it would be the Kardashians, right? But it's like, I can't imagine my child in 40 years being like, hey, I'd never seen a Kim Kardashian thing. I guess I should watch keeping up with the Kardashians. I don't know if it'll be the same experience. But anywho, it was good. It was a good one. What else is there to say about it?
It won, it won awards. It got nominated for awards. You could say that about it.
You could.
You can say a lot of stuff about it. Are you going to, though?
I think I want to say stuff about it on the other side, All
right. So you, Cody, just hop on something. Cody, just hop on my boat and let's back on into Spoiler Town, USA. All right. And then let's just, let's get into it. All right. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Well, it depends. You're coughing now. My question is it going to be better for your coughing? Is it going to be better to go now or in 5 minutes? That's the real question.
I'm good now. You saw me cough. It's all out. All the evil is out of me, and it's going to build back up. I'm going to cough in the middle no matter when I go. So, might as well just do it. Okay. All right.
Evil spirits have left your body.
Let me get the evil spirits out again, and then I'll go. Okay. How about that?
Were you in a speakeasy earlier today? What sins did you commit today that got right in there?
All right, Cody, I'm going to need you to shut your face.
Everyone knows that Satan enters your lungs through sin, and then you got to cough those demons out.
Cody, we got limited time here, man. We got limited time. Right.
Okay, good. Yeah. I'm ready for you.
Here we go. Cody, let me tell you about this movie. All right. These guys, they're out here. Cody, this movie, it's just white chicks. All right. Do I remember anything about white chicks? No, but that's what this movie is. Okay. It's white chicks with two white dudes in the 20s. All right. That's what it is. That's all it is. Okay. And is it the same at all? No, but they're in drag. All right. So it's the same. They both paint their faces white. That's a fun fact for you that I bet you didn't know. So, boom. All right. They're out here and they're like, oh man, we got it. We're here. We're set. We're going. We're going to sell all our money to the dogs. All right. And that's what they do. They sell it all to the dogs. That's how that works. Right. And then he's like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sell our coats. We're going to sell our coats. We're going to go to the dogs. We're going to sell our coats to the dogs. And then the dogs are going to give us more money. But the dogs, here's the thing. If someone's ever like, let's sell coats to dogs, it never works. All right. The dogs don't have money for the coats. So you're just out of coat, and now the dogs have your coat, and you're not going to want that coat back. All right. But then they've witnessed a murder or whatever, it's classic, I'm from Kansas City, Cody. And let me tell you, murders, they happen. Okay. And then you witness them and then you got to run away. Okay. And so what do they do? Cody, if I had said, Cody, I've witnessed a murder and I've made you witness it with me, how are we going to get around this? And then what would we say at the same time? Let's dress in drag and go to Florida. That's right. That's right, Cody. We're on the same page here. Okay. We're going to dress in drag, two manly men. All right. We're going to play our instruments. Okay. And then we're going to meet Marilyn Monroe. All right. Which is what they did. They met Marilyn Monroe, but her name's Sugar. All right. Her name is Sugar. Yeah, don't give me that sneer. No, you loved it. All right. Here's the other thing. Here's a shocking tidbit for you. And I'll say it right now. All of them sexy gifts that you see in Marilyn Monroe, I'll say it. They're from this movie. All right. Every single one of them, Cody, they're all from this movie. But no one's out here talking about Mrs. whatever her name is. All right. She's the leader. She's out here getting the business. All right. She's out here getting the gigs, providing the livelihood for these ladies, and no one's out here appreciating Sweet Sue. What's her name? I don't know. The old lady that's like, no booze and no men. All right. All my ladies are virtuosos and I'm going to keep it that way. All right. That's what she says. All right. She's out here. She's yelling at Beanstalk. Oh, his name. I thought his name was Beanstalk. It's not. It's BIENSTOCK. All right. I thought it was Bean Space Stock. I thought it was a nickname, like Spaz. I did not think that it was his actual name. It changes the whole game, Cody. It's like a whole new movie now. All right, let's get to the thing that we all want to talk about. Let's talk about Osgood. Holy cow, this man, he is a Titan from Attack on Titan. Can we just say that? Can we agree on that? This man has a mouth that could swallow half of Florida. All right, he's just gonna deep throat Florida with that mouth. Holy cow. Also, he's sitting amongst all these guys, and they're like, are there any of them under 75? This man is so clearly under 75. How dare you? All right. He is out here. He is looking fab. If he is 75, he is looking fabulous. All right. And that's a good looking 75-year-old man. You scoop that up. Here's the secret, Cody. If you find yourself a 75, here's what you do. You find yourself a 75-year-old man. All right. He's rich. He's powerful. He got, erectile dysfunction. All right. You get in with that man and then he dies and you have written his kids out of the will. And now that's your money. That's the secret to happiness. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go down to Florida. We're going to find ourselves a couple 75-year-old millionaires. And then we're going to do this. We're going to dress up like ladies and we're going to seduce them, Cody. We're going to seduce them. Look, you do what you got to do. You're making motions. You do what you got to do to get that money. All right. Look, the economy's going downhill. I've been trying for years to become a millionaire and I'm still not a millionaire. So here's what I think. I got to sleep my way into the millions. Okay. That's the way all the big wigs are doing it. Look, where's Harvey Weinstein? I know he was giving out millions for doing stuff. He's probably, is he in prison right now? I can find somebody named Weinstein that'll give me $1 million probably. Right. I don't know. Seems like they've all changed their name at this point, right? Anyway, Cody, this movie came out. It was by the same people making James Bond. Did you know that? Did you notice that? Did you pick up on that fact? Boom. United Artists. You didn't even see it coming, Cody.
Wow. Tyler, well done. You filled your 5 minutes, which is more than I can say for myself. Here I go. Tyler, I saw this movie so long ago, but let me break it down for you. Number one, Marilyn Monroe. She's great. All right. It's not an easy thing to be the hot lady in a movie and also be delivering comedy lines. She did both. All right. Sometimes she was a straight man. Sometimes she was a dumb blonde. Mostly she was a dumb blonde, but she did a great job. I was very impressed, to be honest. I thought in my mind's eye, I was like, oh, she's just like a hot lady from back in the day. And that's it. I thought she was a comedic force in the film. All right. She did a great job. Number two. If there's one thing I'm going to take away from this movie and one thing that made the whole 2 hours worth it, it was Jack Lemmon doing the tango. Oh, I could watch that tango scene over and over again. They just cut back to him and he's doing the whole thing, dancing with that old man. I was like, yeah, no, this is top tier comedy. This is a timeless, all right? So into it. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. I loved every moment of it. I love that he kept leading. I love that he had the rose in his mouth. It was great. It was so good. I think the movie, a little slow start. All right. They spent a little too much time setting him up, I think, but as soon as they got in drag, these movies off to the races. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas. Now it's working for me. That's how I feel about that. Oh man, here's the thing. There's some deception in this movie. There's some questionable behavior from one Tony Curtis. I don't know what his character's name is. Tony Curtis is out here and he's like, I'm going to bag Marilyn Monroe. I'm going to get that sugar. All right. And he does it by pretending to be a rich man with a yacht, donning the most bizarre accent I've ever heard in my life. And was it an accent or was it a speech impediment or was it both? Okay, I need you to nod for me. Accent, speech impediment, both. You think it was just okay? You don't know. You don't know either. It was the most bizarre. And look, I know it was for comedic effect, but also I was like, hold on, I can't even do the math in my brain of where this man would be from. Who is the person that speaks? Like, it's fine. Look, here's the thing. It worked. Okay, it worked. But whatever. Look, I wouldn't have chosen the accent if I was doing a scheme to trick someone into loving me, or boning me rather. But you know what? I'll say this. It absolutely worked. He did it. All right. He really went for it. He made it happen. And you know what? I'm also going to be honest here. I felt bad for Marilyn Monroe. All right. She got let down. And I was like, you know what? She got lied to. She got let down. And I was sad for that woman. All right. As smart as Tony Curtis was to dupe someone who admitted they themselves are very dumb, not once, but twice in the movie, I felt bad for her. But then it's a comedy. All's well that ends well. She's like, you know what? I told you I was dumb. Anyway, let's do this thing. And I was like, you know what? It's not cool that he lied to her, but it is cool that she's like, I'm cool with it. This is working for me, and good for her for knowing that. And even better, my favorite part about the ending of this movie, so right, they end up together. And then Jack Lemmon's here with the old man who's doing the tango with. And he's like, I'm a man. And he's like, whatever, doesn't bother me, not a problem. I was like, hold up, he's just gay now. That's the end. I was like, what? This is amazing. This is a movie with men in drag. It's a movie with another guy who's like, you know what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't bother me. I'm good with it. It's like, this is what a fan. Look, that guy bothered me for like the whole character, the old guy, for like the whole character. I was like, this guy's so skeezy, right? He's like pinching at people's butts and, won't take a hint. Then at the end, he's like, you know what? I'm just having a good time. I'm going to ride it out. I was like, you know what? I changed my mind. You're my hero. You were awesome. All right. Good for him. All right. Made me real happy. All right. There's a few good lines in the movie. And I think maybe my favorite one they talked about, it was when he was doing the stupid accent, I think, but they were talking about water polo. He's like, I lost 3 horses. I was like, stop. No. I died. All right. The tango, he lost 3 horses doing water polo. All right. There's some good writing in the movie. Let's talk about this. Tony Curtis. I never knew who the man was. And then I watched the movie. He still didn't even clock it. I saw a video today where Jamie Lee Curtis was talking about her dad, Tony Curtis. That's Jamie Lee Curtis's dad. All right. We watched a movie with her dad in a dress.
Cody, I'm going to have to cut you off right there. Because what? Jamie Lee Curtis. That's Tony Curtis. Dad is that's Tony
Jamie
Curtis?
Lee Curtis's papa.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
He looks like
that's the man.
Yeah. I think he looks like how I feel like John Travolta thought he looked when he was all dressed up as a greaser.
Yes. Or how John Travolta thought he looked when he dressed up in drag for the movie Hairspray.
Yeah.
Okay, let me backtrack back to the seduction, the deceitful seduction.
Right.
I'll say this. You know what? It was a masterclass in seducing a dumb person because he did the smart thing. All right. A dumb person would be like, I'm going to charm this person over to me. No, that's not how you do it. You got to dangle the carrot. What was the carrot this man dangled? He was like, sorry, can't get turned on. I don't know what we tried everything. The doctors, they can't even help me. That's how you do it. All you got to do is plant that seed and be like, no one could even do it. It's too bad. And then they're like, I'm the hottest person ever. I can do it. It works every time. I mean, if I had seen this movie 10 years ago, I would probably be married to a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? I would be married to some heiress to the fortune of I don't even know what. You know what I'm saying? I would have seduced my way right into the Fortune 500. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be working for Larry Ellison. I would be living on his island. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That would be daddy. That would be father-in-law. You know what I'm saying? That's where I would be. So do yourself a favor, all right? Show your children this movie and teach them the art of seduction, all right?
Yeah. If you're rich enough, you can go from perv to sweet man. And if you're skeezy enough, you can go from you can be fake being a rich person. If you dress up as a woman, then an old millionaire will be into it. Is that's
the old adage. Yeah, that's how it goes. Let's talk about this. This movie does not take place in Florida. I know exactly where it takes place. Want to know why?
Don't come at me with your Joshua Tree garbage or whatever.
I've been there. All right. This movie is shot at the Del Coronado Hotel on Coronado Island that's right, San Diego, California. I've been there. I walked the grounds. I seen the lobby. All right. I walked around. I experienced it all. So anyway, I just thought that was a fun little trivia. You can stay at that hotel It's very expensive. It's on a very nice beach. And then the other half of the island is a bunch of rich people houses and the Del Coronado Hotel. And then the other half is a big old military base for Navy. So isn't that fun?
I mean, it sounds pretty fun, like I would, if I were to gauge it on a fun to not fun scale. Here's the thing, right, Cody? Because if you flick through pictures of this movie, I just realized, like, man, they really had to like redesign. Like, here's the thing: everybody's like, "What happened to fashion around the '80s and stuff?" I'll tell you right now, because they had to redesign women's fashion because they were like, "Oh boy, in color you can just see everything, right? You can really only get away with a lot of this like very see-through material when it's a black and white movie. As soon as it's color and you're like trying to throw this up on the screen, these moms at the MPAA are like, oh boy, now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm just,
I don't, but I believe you,
it's just,
you're right.
It's just like, they're like, look, her dress looks skin colored and her skin is skin colored. So it all kind of melds into one. And then you see like just a set photo and you're like, oh my gosh, you can't put that on TV nowadays.
Right.
Let
me give you ladies a fashion tip out here. And, it applies to the men too, but also most of the ladies, because the ladies, they wear more leggings, more tight clothes. Look, if you got a pair of like leggings, yoga pants, whatever, and it's the same color as your skin tone, burn it. Get rid of it. Because you know what I don't like? I don't like looking at someone and being like, they're naked. They don't know. And then be like, oh no, those are just like pants that are the same color as their skin. Don't do it. Get rid of them. Don't buy them. Know what color your skin is, and then don't buy clothes the same color as your skin, right? Am I crazy? Is this a crazy opinion to have? You tell me.
Cody, I think it's disgusting and racist what you just said there. Ladies, you wear your skin colored leggings and you make everyone around you uncomfortable. You know what you're doing and you're living your best life, okay? This
happens to me once a month, and every time it just baffles me. I'm like, how do they not understand what is happening in my brain and everyone's brain that walks by them,
Yeah. I mean, because it's funny too, because it's never like a oh, it's always like a what? Oh, okay. Wait, what? It's like,
I mean, look, the only time it's acceptable is when it's like you got some kind of costume for the stage or something, and it's like, oh yeah, no, I got this on. And then parts of it are skin colored to like emphasize the effect of whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I can wear something that looks great, but also isn't actually that revealing, That's fine. I don't mind someone's doing that. Whatever. If we're on the street, this does not apply to you. This is not an acceptable. Tyler, let's talk about it. Let's go into your closet.
All right.
Bust out your wardrobe. You got any leggings that are the same color as your skin?
No, I don't. Unfortunately, I've been trying to find some, but there's none that have the same shade. Because I want a shirt, a skin colored shirt,
and that skin tight. My Christmas list for Tyler.
Skin colored pants, right? And then I want skin colored gloves too.
Yep. I mean, really, you could get a whole outfit and you could be just walking around. I mean, you could have all the joys of like a nudist without actually breaking the law. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying, and it's what I hope to get one day. But, it seems like there's a conspiracy against men being able to enjoy skin colored leggings. And I think that's really why you're upset about it, is that you can't find any that fit you and your body type.
Tyler, you done exposed me. All right. I've been to 12 stores in the Kansas City metro area. All right. I even went to Lululemon. I went directly to the source. They couldn't even help me.
The source of all leggings.
I've been kicked out of more stores than you've been to for yoga pants, Tyler. All right. That's where I'm at.
I mean, I believe it, Cody. I definitely believe it. Here, let me.
Oh, Tyler.
Yes.
Let's talk about this.
Okay.
I just saw. I'm peering at some trivia.
Mm-hmm.
This says, upon its original release, Kansas, which is just a few miles away from my house, banned the film from being shown in the state, explaining that cross-dressing was too disturbing for Kansans. And you know what's so crazy about that? That was like, what, 60 years ago? Mm-hmm. Well, now this movie wouldn't be allowed to be shown in certain places in Tennessee because of the laws they just passed there. You can't do drag stuff anymore with like if a child's going to see it or like a minor.
And
crazy.
You know, this is a PG movie.
Full circle.
It is crazy, right? Because it's also like, I feel like, so with this movie, right? It's done. It's funny. There's lots of lines and stuff that's said in the movie where I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, where I did think it was funny when he was like, you know, when, what's his name? Old guy. Don't judge me, Cody.
You know,
Osgood had proposed to Jerry, Daphne, rather, and you know, Joe was like, "You can't do that." He's like, "Well, because you're a boy, and boys can't marry boys." Like, he's like, "You can't do that. There's laws against this." And I was just like, "Oh yeah." You know, like you said, we're coming around full circle.
Yeah,
and but yeah, I did think it's funny because it did take it when he did his like, "Oh, nobody's perfect." You know, at the end, I was like, you know, nowadays you watch it and you're like, "Oh, well, he's gay," and it's like, and he always knew. But then it's like, no, it's just supposed to be. I bet it's supposed to be that no, he's a lonely old horny dude that's like, whatever. You know, he's like, I'll deal with this.
It's working. It's working for me.
You know, and it's
man.
But it wasn't funny because there's lots of jokes that still land, but they land for different reasons nowadays, I feel like.
Sure, yeah.
Like the,
you know,
it was perfect.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I will say this. The thing that got me the most, it does appear that the same joke got us both the hardest, which was water polo is so dangerous. He's like, I'll say I've had 3 ponies drown underneath me. By the way, Cody, I can tell you exactly where that accent is supposed to be from.
Is it Boston?
Oh, it is definitely supposed to be a rich Boston person from someone who's never been to Boston. But that is 100% the attempt at like a rich, which I was questioning it. And then at a point in his speech of all of the different sex therapists and dancers and whatever that he's had, he talked about how his parents had hired someone back in Boston. You know, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, he's supposed to be from Boston.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I see some trivia about Marilyn Monroe. And look, I gave her a nod for her performance, but according to this, it took her 47 takes to get the line, "It's me, sugar," correct. Because she would always say, "Sugar, it's me," or "It's sugar, me." After 30 takes, the director had the line written on a blackboard. Another scene required Monroe to rummage through some drawers and say, "Where's the bourbon?" After 40 takes of her saying, "Where's the whiskey? Where's the bottle?" or "Where's the bonbon?" Wilder pasted the correct line in front of the drawers. Oh, man.
Look,
after Monroe became confused, this can't be right. After Monroe became confused about which drawer contained the line, the director had it pasted in every drawer. 59 takes were required for the scene. And when she finally does say it, she has her back to the camera, leading some to wonder if Wilder finally gave up and just had it dubbed. What? That can't be real. There's no way.
None of the stories I've heard of Marilyn Monroe paint her in a very bright light. Like she was pretty and everybody's like, oh my gosh, she's such an icon and all that. But it's like, but no one, I feel like you would be hard pressed to find someone that would say, oh, what a brilliant woman she was, you know? Like,
sure.
So here's the thing. My parents were alive, right, at the height of her itness. They were kids, right? They were there for it. They were the target audience for the Monroe sex appeal, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, not really. They were a little bit too young, but like my dad was a teenager, I think, when she was still sexy. And
sure.
They're like, yeah, no, she was like, she was hot. And it was weird. It is funny because if you look back, it's like, there's some smoking hot dudes in movies and stuff up to this point. Not a lot of hot chicks, hot babes, hot. I can't think of a more derogatory term than chicks that I can say. I was going for it. I couldn't find it.
Do you want some help?
No, I think we're good. I think chicks is enough.
Do you need me to help you drag us down further? I'll do it.
No, but I feel like, that was the main selling point. She put butts in seats, Cody. By putting her butt on the screen, you put butts in seats. Get it? That's marketing 101. Listen, I went to school for marketing, probably, as far as you know. So that's what I got to say about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. I thought there was going to be more. It's fine that there isn't. Here's another one. I guess the movie was going to be shot in color, and Monroe's contract stipulated all her movies were in color. They convinced her to let it be shot in black and white. Costume tests revealed the makeup for Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon gave their faces a green tinge. They were like, screw it, black and white. I'm tired of dealing with this. It's interesting.
So what you're saying is it could have been in color, but it wasn't in color.
It almost was in color.
Oh
yeah.
My gosh, Cody, you're shattering my whole universe of when color was invented, because this is like 30 years before I said color was invented.
I mean, look, just because color wasn't invented doesn't mean that movies were still in color. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You're right. I mean,
they did the color later. They went back in time and they colorized it.
That's a good point. That's a good point right there. You know, there's color photos from the set, you know?
Yeah, they colorized them. I just explained it.
But there's also black and white photos from the set, Cody. So explain that to me.
Yeah, they didn't get around to doing all of them. They got busy lives. It takes a lot of work to colorize something.
All right. And I'll let it slide this time, Cody, but just know you're on thin ice here, Cody. Not since hold on. There's a tagline here. Not since Scarface.
Yep.
Not,
this is a good one.
So much action. Not since the Marx Brothers, so much comedy. Not since the 7-Year Itch, so much Marilyn. That's the tagline of the movie.
I mean, I'm pretty sure most of those movies came out after this one, so I am confused by it, but, I'm also all for it.
But is Scarface one of those movies that's like a remake of a movie from like 1857?
Yeah, I do think it is a remake.
Yeah. You're like,
it is one of those.
Got modern day stuff, and it's like, yeah, the comically large pile of drugs was just a different drug back then.
Mm-hmm.
And it was real. That's what made that movie so good. The drugs were all real, and everybody was really taking them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got some more Marilyn slander.
Okay.
Okay. Stories of the difficulty that the casting crew had with Marilyn Monroe during the making this film have grown to almost mythical proportions. In the farewell telephone conversation between Monroe and Curtis, her side-to-side eye movements clearly reveal that she was reading her lines directly from an off-screen blackboard. And according to Curtis, Monroe was routinely 2 to 3 hours late to the set and occasionally refused to leave her dressing room, which is just like A+ star material. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm going to be late or I might just not show up. And that is just classic diva. She's killing it. I mean, you don't reach the icon status without... Look, you got to deliver the goods, but also you got to make it real hard to deliver the goods. And that's what makes a great diva.
Look, you're out here slandering Marilyn Monroe. And then when we watch Apocalypse Now, you're like, oh my gosh, look at what a masterclass of being a fat colonel in the woods that this dude is. All right. They had to change the entire movie because a man refused to lose weight for the film that he committed to lose weight for and learn a single one of the lines he was supposed to learn. And he would just occasionally walk out of the shadows and say something insane. And they're like, all right, cool. We'll base the entire movie around it.
So good, dude. Oh, man.
But Marilyn Monroe, she's like, I'm not fit. I don't want to come out of my dressing room. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, what a diva, Sexism, Cody.
But I mean, 59 takes. It's legendary. It's so good. The only way it would be better if it was 69 takes. You know what I'm saying? That is the only one number that is superior to making 59 takes to get something right.
Here's the thing about the 59 takes. This is back when each take was represented like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Like I was watching a movie the other day with Tiffany. and there was like a blatant error in the movie. Like they just rolled with a take, and I pointed it out, and she's like, well, maybe it was intentional. I was like, no, this is a very low budget movie, and they definitely could not afford to do another take. So they just took whatever was best. You know, like it doesn't matter if like Cody, hold on now. About to hit you with a factoid that you're going to hate me for. Okay.
Hit me.
We've been watching Twilight. And I'd forgotten. Let me ask you. I
can't relive it.
You remember this? No. Let me ask you if you remember this. There's a scene towards the end of this series, right? Not the very last movie, the second to last movie. It's at Bella's wedding. You know, Jacob shows up as he always does.
So this is not okay.
Yeah. Part 1. Breaking Dawn Part 1. Jacob shows up for the wedding.
That was my question.
All right. As he always does, he gets in a fight, as they always do. And then him and the other wolves go off into the woods. In which point you can clearly see that they are on a soundstage, and you can see the blue studio lights through the trees so clearly that it sickens me. And I'm like, why would you not just say, hey, you know what? Everybody reset. Go turn those lights off. Let's do it again. Because that looks like you guys just jumped off of a soundstage into the backstage of this lot, which is exactly what they did. Also, why wouldn't you have the outside wedding outside? Why
you're out here complaining about the soundstage and not filming on location? No, I got to bring it all the way back. Let's talk about Sparklegate. Who's gonna shoot a vampire wedding in broad daylight and then not do any of the sparkles? Dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Look, I pointed out to Tiffany that the sparkles just kind of like you could see. So it's the first 2 movies, heavy sparkle. Third movie, well, there's some sparkle, but it's like very subdued. And it's like they knew those last movies. They're like, we can't be having this sparkling in these last movies. So they just phase it out throughout the third movie until there's nothing, until there's no sparkle. All right. Also, here's the thing. Those movies are as good as they are here's the reasoning. 1, because Kristen Stewart is bad enough of an actor that she came across as an awkward teen way more than she was supposed to. And Edward, what's his name? Robert Pattinson is such a treasure to the human race that he was able to nail the portrayal of Edward. All right. The more I watch it, the more I'm like, he is like doing exactly what he's supposed to do and playing that character. Okay. Yeah. He's nailing it. Everyone else is just stumbling their way into playing the character correctly. All right. Him and can we just have a moment? Can we have a moment to appreciate how hot Carlisle still is? To this day, he's the hottest actor I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, Marilyn Manson.
Don't we have like 6 hours of recordings about these movies?
Yes.
Twilight movies already? All right. Look, I got one more factoid for you. I mean, maybe I'll stumble across another one. There's a ton of trivia for this movie. Tony Curtis hated that his own performance deteriorated over the course of the 30 or more takes that were often needed to get a good scene out of Marilyn. As a result, the director ended up having to use more footage of Marilyn than him. Oh, man. So Marilyn, look, not only she won the day because she got more screen time. She's playing the long con. We thought he tricked her. No, she's out here tricking everyone else.
I was going to say that
she got the icon status. She got more screen time.
Is that her game? Is her game to wear everyone else down? So they're all like, I just want to go home. And she's like, I'm going to sparkle on the 50th take. So everyone else is like, I'm going to like nail my line. And they're going to be like, yeah, whatever. And just totally biff it so that they look terrible. And no one ever wants them, but everybody wants Marilyn. Look.
It worked.
Fake Nick Cage's dad named himself after Marilyn. All right. No. Sorry. What? Wait. Not fake Nick Cage. Marilyn Manson. Nick Cage's son looks like Marilyn Manson. That's what it is, right? That's what it is. And Marilyn Manson also kind of looks like Nick Cage. So fake Nick Cage named himself after Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Look, Tyler, you can tell me that the movie was good, but according to a poll of 253 film critics from 52 countries, in a poll from BBC in 2017 is the best comedy film of all time.
I was about to say, you bet. No, hold on. I thought 8.5 was the best comedy of all time, Cody. You can't change your story now.
Bruh, get out of here. The Italians don't know how to laugh. They know one thing, and it's pasta. All right? They know food and how to switch sides in a world war. All right? That's what I trust the Italians to do.
Look, there are 2-time World War champions on a technicality, which is the best way to win a world war. All right.
They played both sides and they came out on top. All right.
Yeah.
Man.
I was going to say, I pulled up the Metacritic because based on 19 critic reviews, it's a must see, Cody.
Can you imagine like being so frustrated with your scene partner? You know, you are like a top tier actor, Tony Curtis, right? At the top of the game in all kinds of classic movies. And then you show up to set and it's like, hey, you got to do 40 takes every scene. And then you got to shoot a love scene with that person. You know what I'm saying? You got to be like, anyway, here's a seduction scene. So just seduce her 40 times because that's how many times it's going to take. Can you imagine how upset you would be?
Well, she's got to wear out the boner. You know what I'm saying? Like she's got to make him hate so she doesn't got to deal with the misogyny on set, you know? It's all calculated. Yeah. She's a genius, Cody. Oh, what a genius of what did I say no one calls her? That, you know, what I can't remember what I said she wasn't, but she's that, you know.
American Film Institute, #1 on the list of 100 funniest movies of all time back in 2001.
Would you say this is number one of 100 funniest movies of all time?
I would say maybe it would be like on the back half of the top 100 movies of all time.
I would say this is in the top 1,000 funniest movies of all time in a classical sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is that caveat, right? In the sense of like, you have to take that into consideration.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Do you want to hear the top 10?
Yes.
AFI. Okay, let's go 10 to 1. 10 to 1.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Number 10, Airplane. Absolute classic. Shut up. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think these are exclusively American movies, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
Number 9, The Graduate, which I would not define as a comedy, but let's move on. All right. The amount of times I laughed in The Graduate was like once. Carry on. It Happened One Night, number 8. Number 7, MASH, which I think is the movie finale of MASH, I'm guessing. Yeah. No, wait, I'm thinking of the, right? Yeah. All right, number 6, Blazing Saddles.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Duck Soup. I've only seen bits and pieces, but it was hysterical. Annie Hall, which is like a rom-com. I really like Annie Hall, but don't cancel me. Number 3, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. That is a good one.
I got the steel book of that one.
Number 2. Yes, you do.
Is a
Number
good
2, Tootsie.
Tootsie's
a classic. Excellent screenplay. One of the greats. And finally, Some Like It Hot, of course. Wow.
I'll say it, Cody. Aside from maybe Blazing Saddles, I mean, if we're being honest, you know, a Madea Halloween is funnier than all those movies, and I'll fight you.
No way.
It is so much fun.
Airplane.
Let's sit here. Let's talk
Tootsie,
about funny.
Duck Soup.
Not
you
like
haven't even seen Duck Soup, bro.
That's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, it's so funny.
The 7-Year Itch is also on the top 100 list. All right.
Look.
Also directed by Billy Wilder.
Look, see, all these movies are like, oh, it's so well written, and I love the comedy's smart. If that term comes out of your stupid face, Cody, then it's not a funny movie.
Yeah.
All right. You know, there's one word I would never use to describe Tootsie's a Madea movie, and that is smart. You know what what word I would use to describe every Madea movie? Funny. All right. Funny.
All right. Ghostbusters number 20. I just don't think Ghostbusters is that funny.
Ghostbusters not that funny. You know, is it even that good?
I'm not saying it isn't a good movie, but it also isn't that good of a movie, but it's fine. Oh man, I'm looking at this. There's a lot of movies I got to see. It's on this list. I don't think American Graffiti is that funny either. Look, Harold and Maude is on that list, and that's all I needed to hear. All right, this list is great. I changed my mind. I don't need to criticize it because, you know, Harold and Maude, it's on here.
Listen, Cody, you're out here. Your perfect movie is two people awkwardly staring at each other for 2 hours. And then at the end, one person says, "Will you marry me?" And the other person says, "I'm dying." And then the movie ends. That's a tell me that's not Cody's perfect movie.
It's pretty good. Let's talk about this. What's Up, Doc is number 61. And Some Like It Hot's number 1. Wouldn't you say What's Up, Doc is funnier than Some Like It Hot by like a significant amount?
Yeah. Again, it's funnier. Which one's a better movie? You know, I think you know which one's the better film experience and which one's funnier.
Oh, we got Caddyshack on here. We got Beetlejuice. Oh, The Jerk. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, by today's standards, not that many would be on here, you know, but at the time I get it, right? It was part of the thing. Fargo's on here. That's a classic. Oh, Nutty Professor made it on here. And you know what else made it on here? Bringing up the rear. Good Morning Vietnam. Oh, that's a great movie.
That is a good movie.
That's a good one. It's Robin Williams. He's got a few on here. So does Eddie Murphy. All right. Well, what's next? What else you got? Anything else you got to share about this one? Anything else that people need to know?
I mean, it's a good one. It's a funny one. You know, it's got some goofs. It's got some gaffes. It's got some chuckle. Gave me some chuckles. You know, water polo is a dangerous sport. I learned that. You know, I do think it is funny. I think the movie is part of what makes the drag funny, which I think, here's the thing. A lot of people might come at us, Cody. They may come after you and me. Like, you know, like maybe certain senators or governors or congressmen. They may come after us for, you know, talking about people in drag. But here's the thing. I think the key to the funny drag is to have dudes that there's no way you can make them look like a girl or put so little effort into making them look like a girl that they're so obviously dudes. You know, like,
yeah,
there's two kinds of drag, right?
Yeah.
Two distinct kinds. There's the kind that is funny and for comedic effect. And then there's like the drag race, which is, I mean, I guess there's different reasons why people do it, but it's more like they're trying to look like pretty. Or
it's like a pageant.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a talent. It's a big deal. Yeah, no, like one is like, I'm trying to look like a bombshell attitude diva. And then the other one's like, this is the best I can do. Please don't notice that I'm not a girl, you know? And one of those is a better recipe for comedy.
I never forget. There was a show where they were interviewing drag queens. And there's one where she was like, "Oh, my name's Thunder," or whatever, or something like that. Something like Thunder. And they were like, "Oh, why do they call you Thunder?" And the guy was just like, "What do you think?" Like super deep, like the deepest voice you've ever heard. It was just like this huge black dude. And he looked fantastic. Don't get me wrong. He was nailing. He was killing the pageantry of it all. But it was just so funny because he had like the high, you know, pageant voice. And then they're like, "Oh, why do they call you that? What do you think?" It was like, the guys was like, "My balls just dropped." Like, oh my gosh. It was so funny.
Oh my goodness.
So I always get a kick out of that. And it seems like a lot of the people who do get a kick out of it. But I do think it was funny that they like cast two bigger, like manly looking guys. You know, because Cody, let's be, you know, they throw you in here, you know, you're getting torn apart by these 75-year-old millionaires, you know. It's like, be like throwing meat to the wolves, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, you're not coming out of there unscathed, all right? You're coming out there with that 1,000-yard stare, all right? And you know what, Cody? Here's what I need you to do. I just need you to take one for the team, all right? I need you to get us a sponsorship, all right? I need you to dress up as a pretty lady and go down to Florida, okay? Right. Fake Florida, aka San Diego.
Yep.
Can you do that for me? Can you do it for me?
Yeah, I can do. I'll take one for the team, like for sure.
All right, because I need
I
need to sell money to dogs
if you like it. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. Those are the rules.
Yeah, if you say no homo, what's
That's how it
that? That's the
goes.
rule. If you say no homo first, then it doesn't count.
Say no homo, you're in the clear. Like,
Like there's a meme going around now where it's like when your dad says "I love you, son," but he doesn't say no homo first.
so classic. Oh, look, I don't got much else to say, but I will give this movie a rating, and I think this one's gonna come out on top for me with a B. All right, a solid B. And it's not quite. Maybe at the time, if I'd seen it at the attitudes at the time, and it would have really captured me, but it was just a little too slow getting into it. But plenty of highs for me to drop a B on it and say, hey, it's worth a watch. It's a classic. But, I think I'm going to enjoy a modern comedy a touch more, but it's a good one. Solid B. What do you think?
I feel like it opened the door to classics like White Chicks and Medea Halloween. Other movies that include cross-dressing.
Yeah.
And so for that, I gotta give it a B as well, just for the legacy that it has.
Mm-hmm.
Gave us some of the funniest movies of all time. I've never seen White Chicks, except for on like MTV in the
my goodness.
2000s.
I told you that I saw Hamilton last week.
Yes.
And it was a delightful experience. We were waiting at the bar to get a cold beverage, and they were ringing a bell. We're like, is it intermission? Like, what does that mean? What does the bell mean? And finally, some guy's like, 5 minutes. You're like, okay, I'm just going to say it. This black woman in like really loud clothing, she ran up and she was like, nah, 10 minutes, because everyone's like waiting. And then she flipped off the person ringing the bell, and then she ran into the bathroom. And I couldn't believe it. And I told Bailey, this lady walked off the set of a Tyler Perry movie to come and deliver that line. And then when we went to get back in our seats, the intermission had just ended, so that the music had started up, and she was in the aisle dancing to the song, and we had to walk around her to get to our seats. It's like, if I could live my life with half the zest of this woman, I would be a much happier man. I was a little jealous, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm glad that you got.
When was the last time you saw a Broadway musical and one person was dancing in the aisle? I don't know. She flipped someone off. She got all these people on her side. She held a bunch of stuff and then ran into the bathroom. It was a good time.
I mean, it sounds like she's out here like we're all NPCs. She's the main character. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if she was in drag.
That would. I mean, it would make it better.
That would be the ultimate twist.
Or worse. I don't know. But it would change the whole dynamic. Or would it even? Did I ever tell you about the first time
it would just be the perfect twist to the end of the skit if she like got home and took off her earrings and pulled off a wig and was like, oh no, that's a dude, Oh
yeah.
Oh,
first time I went to a musical, though, they broke for the intermission and I didn't know what that meant. So I was just like, man, that musical sucked. I was ready to leave.
Yeah.
Luckily, no one else like went to leave or like walked towards the exit. So I was just kind of like, I was walking confidently towards the exit and everyone else stopped. And I was like, oh, all right, well, I guess I'm just going to look at this plant for a second, pretend that this was my destination.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I did have that when we saw Wicked, because I've only ever heard a few songs from Wicked. We saw Wicked last year and I was like, isn't this the end? It's like, they sang all the songs I know. Is there really like a whole hour and a half left of this?
Cody,
but sure enough, there was.
Let me tell you, it was Wicked. That was the same musical that I almost walked out of the
end of. Yeah. Wow. I was like, I guess they're about to wrap it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Man.
It's half. That's fun fact, when they like break for that stuff, there's only half over, just so everybody knows when it comes to a musical. There's still like a while left.
Yeah, there's a good little bit. Wow. Anywho, if you're listening, tweet at us at Opinion Havers. We'll give you, I don't know, some nude colored leggings or something. You know, we'll treat you to something.
Give
You really enhanced my. I got 2 shows for the price of 1 that day.
It sounds like you owe her some money, like you're indebted to her, like a life debt kind of situation. So,
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and she's coming. She's coming. She's gonna come collect soon. All right.
The scary thing is I just don't know when. I know it's going to be a time when I'm not expecting it, you know, and it's going to be a place I'm not expecting it.
She's gonna come for your 3rd born child. That's what's gonna happen. Right?
That's what I'm afraid of.
Because it's not like she did something to earn the firstborn, but like that 3rd born, you already don't want that one, you know. So it's like they're, you know,
right. I mean, I was an accident, so like, why wouldn't my 3rd born be a complete unplanned child? You know,
exactly.
Well, want to thank everyone for listening. You can find us wherever. You can yell at us wherever. It's opinion havers, all right? Deal with it. Until next time, watch movies.
And have opinions. There's these old trailers that have been playing, and I got to tell you, like, Scarface is definitely a remake because it's showing a lot of things, and they're like, you saw him in Scarface, and then it's a black and white movie. So definitely a remake. Also, some of these movies are...
Imagine making a remake of a movie so good that no one even cares about the original. When was the last time you saw someone with a poster to the original Scarface movie? No, it's the Pacino one, you know?
I mean, I didn't know that there was an original, you know? So.
Basically, Scarface that thing into the ground, you know?